Ole, ole, ole. Welcome back to the show. Today is Thursday, April 30th at 8:30, and you're locked into the Checkin Habs, your up-and-coming Montreal Canadiens hockey podcast. If you bleed blue, blanc, and rouge, you're in the right place. This is where we break down current topics on the most legendary franchise in NHL history, your Montreal Canadiens. We're talking game recaps, player performances, trade rumors, prospect updates, lineup updates, and everything happening around the league that impacts the Habs. We stream live every Thursday at 8:30, so make sure you subscribe, follow, and turn on notifications so you'll never miss a drop. In the owner's suite, you have yours truly, Mr. Brian. Let's introduce tonight's starting lineup. We have Steve.
Hey, everybody, what's going on?
He's expo.
Next, we got Tony.
What's up, guys?
And that's all. That's it for tonight's lineup. We're running lean tonight.
We're short-handed tonight.
All right, Habs Nation. Let's check in with the Habs.
Too many penalties.
Too many injuries.
Injuries.
The refs, man. It's all about the refs, man. Those cheap refs.
That's coming down. That's
coming up.
The topic's already loaded. Okay, so let's start off with tonight's first topic. Let's go. And who do we have? Before we start, we already have Pursue for Saki LOL. Hi, hello. Camilla, hello. T. Hartley said hi. Hi, T. Hartley. Welcome, guys.
Hi, everybody.
And don't be shy. Be active in the chat. If you have any questions or any thoughts, let us know.
Yeah, feel free to make fun of Steve.
Hey, good. Let's go. You can make fun of me. All right. Topic number one. Let's do a little recap. What do games 3, 4, and 5 tell us about the series now? Games 3 and 4, 5 highlighted how tight and competitive this matchup has become, with each game decided by a single goal and momentum constantly shifting. Both teams have shown the ability to adjust and respond under pressure, turning this stretch into a tactical battle where neither side can be able to pull away. Neither side has been able to pull away. Oh my God! I gotta get that final. Both teams have shown the ability to adjust and respond under pressure, turning the stretch into a tactical battle where neither side has been able to pull away. All right.
You got it.
All right. Who wants to take it away? Who wants to hit this one out of the park?
Well, there's a lot going on both games 2. We covered games 1 and 2, right?
Mm.
But games 3, 4, and 5, there's a lot to take away. So let's start with game 3. That's the first game back in Montreal. They were playing at home, right? They split the first 2 games. So even though that second game, I feel Montreal, should have had it, right? They came back and they came back to Montreal, stealing home ice advantage from Tampa. Now, game 3 was a total wow,
Yeah.
But then game 4.
So we'll go back to game 3. What was for those who didn't watch the game? Let's just say what was so wild?
Well, they played well. Like, I find Montreal could have easily have been up 3-0 after game 3. Like, they as much as they lost game 2, they were competitive. I find they've been consistently better in every game than Tampa is. Tampa's been good too because they're so evenly matched, but it hard to argue that there was a chance that they weren't able to be up 3-0, which wasn't the case, but it could have easily been the case. So game 3, I find there's no question they did what they needed to do. They pulled out the win again in overtime. The issue there, I find, Steve Bray, tell me if you don't agree, it's the penalties. It's excessive penalties, the hitting, and the bad calls from the refereeing.
Definitely. I think there was so much undiscipline on both sides, but especially, I'd say, Montreal.
Yeah.
And they really got to their heads, Tampa, I would say, especially game 3. It was getting wild, man. And anyways,
there's a lot of, you're saying there's also bad calls, but there's always a lot of stupid penalties with Montreal that really, I think, was there any power play goals on game 3?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was one Braden point. Yeah, second goal was a power play goal. These are goals that we could have avoided, man. These are.
No, the first goal was a power play goal. That second goal, yeah, you're right. Second goal, yeah. I mean, the first goal from Tampa, I meant.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And but they were. You have to admit, last night's game they were much more disciplined. It wasn't as irresponsible as their games. Montreal toned down. I think both teams kind of really toned down. They didn't want to risk it. And
what I took away from Game 3 was everybody was pushing for the coach to take Doc out of the lineup, right? Especially
as a punishment from
not a punishment. Like yes, he hasn't been producing offensively, but he's been doing all those little things in the game, and he made a critical mistake at the end in overtime, which caused the defenseman to turn over, and then the Montreal ended up getting scored on in overtime, right, from J.J. Abraham. Yeah, it was a mistake, but there was a lot of mistakes done in the game. But for him not to take him out of the lineup, especially after the shit that he went through on social media, he had a great comeback game.
Well, he revived himself, man.
And on top of that, he did. And on top of that, he put him back at center on a third or fourth line, whatever you want to call it. He put him back at center, and he did well. He didn't do such a good job on Game 4, but Game 5...
that was a huge goal, man.
Yeah.
He did. Huge.
He played well. He played well. He was the player of the game. He if it wasn't for him, he played well defensively. 200 feet. He was perfect on all ends of the ice. So, like, good for him.
Listen, guys, I don't you think it's so distracting for a player? To be on. You're on social media. Of course, they have social media. These guys. Of course, they're on Facebook. Of course, they're on.
I'm sure they're checking
on Instagram. These guys, not that they don't care of their reputation and their status type of thing, but it gets to their head too, because their feed is going to be that way too. It's NHL feed. They're going to see the top story is going to be Kirby Derby Cock over here. He's like,
listen, I didn't want to get into this.
Yeah.
But since you brought it up, and I didn't say anything last week, but everybody, we have a platform with this podcast, and we voice our opinions, what we like, what we don't like, right? But whether we have a platform or not, there's a line that nobody should cross. Nobody has the right to personally attack, personally threaten, or personally bully anybody, regardless of who you are, and especially if you have a platform. And these people who are too scared or too chicken shit, I'm sorry, to speak their mind and have to hide behind a keyboard and do stuff like that, man, I don't condone it, man. There's no reason. You wanna voice your opinion that you don't like the way he plays or this or that, fine, you're allowed to say that, but stay between the boundaries of a professional opinion. You don't need to personally attack the guy where he has to shut off his social media account because, people are being crazy, mental, and retarded. I'm sorry.
What was I'm not aware exactly of the attacks.
They attacked him and his family, the personal attacks
actual
and
threats.
Yeah, bullying and threats and stuff. I didn't read them all, but he had to close his social media account. It's ridiculous, Yeah, and it's always these trolls, and the same thing. And it's not only here. You see them on podcasts. You see them here. People have nothing better to do, and they make these comments.
Well, guess what? Now, take a look at Brady Tkachuk. They officially lost. They're, everybody on social media and the NHL, they're all, saying that he's going to be traded. And nothing is substantiated. There's all rumors from everybody. And Brady Tkachuk, he went on the record recently after the game pretty much and said, listen, I'm here for the long haul. I don't know what everybody's talking about pretty much, but I'm committed.
For the long haul with Ottawa?
With Ottawa, yeah. Never mind the NHL. Of course he's me, but in general,
we'll see.
No, listen, he put his foot down. He says, "Listen, you might not think so, but that's in his head too. As everybody's talking."
I said it a year ago. Remember last year before we changed studio? I said it. He's going to do the same thing his brother did. He's saying this now because that's all he has to say. But we'll see. We'll see next year.
But the thing is that it's not official, and until then, you know, guys,
He's gonna get a lot of scrutiny.
of course. But
Anyways, I want to get back to.
Wait, before you get back, I just want to quick say hi, Sima. Welcome back. The inconsistent calls. He's probably talking about the refs calls, and 100% agree with you. It's a game. I think he agrees with you, Tony, about the social
Thank you, I
media
appreciate
stuff.
it. Now, I want to ask you guys a question. Do you agree with me? Apart from him playing well and that was a crazy goal, do you think he should have been, apart from Hudson scoring that crazy goal at the end and winning it in overtime, Kirby Dach was the player of that game, right? He assisted on the Texier goal.
Yeah.
He scored the second goal.
How about game
Game three. He assisted on the Texier goal. He scored the second goal. Overtime, he didn't score because it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was an assist by Bolduc and Texier. But he was the one in front of the net blocking.
Yeah.
He was in the bumper position.
When Lane Hudson scored that goal,
Yeah.
man,
I thought
it was all him.
I thought he hit it in.
No,
I
yeah,
know he did.
it almost
looked as if-
It looked like he did
yeah.
hit
He
it in.
tipped it
Yeah.
in. So, like, if it wasn't like he had a part in that goal too. It's like he had a great game.
So where are we with Doc now? I think a month ago we're like saying get rid of him. He's too fragile. He's bad luck.
It's
now
still a small sample size because
I know, but he's reviving.
well, Brian, game 4 again. He didn't have a very very good game again, right? But game 4, I'm sorry guys, I was not fucking happy about what happened in game 4.
You, everybody out there, it's
They
just
were up 2 goals to none. Okay, let them play. First of all, the call on
Kucherov.
no, the call
Lane.
on Kapanen.
Yeah, on the Kucherov. Yeah.
was not even a freaking high stick. He didn't touch him. Okay,
He sold it.
he sold
He
it.
acted like it did.
And they called it. You know, the hit on Slav, that was clean. It was a hard hit, but you know what?
He went up.
I don't know why that defenseman gave him a. I would be more mad at the player who was it that passed to him. Carrier? Was it Carrier or was it Texie?
I don't remember.
I mean, whoever passed it to him, I would have been pissed at him. Don't fucking pass me the puck like that. Like right in danger, in the danger area, you know?
Yeah, he was wide open. Slav, he didn't have his head up, and it's listen. I don't think there was some modest amount
It was lift.
of a lift. The problem is that Slav was really low at that moment.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
his body, the guy, he went for a hit. I don't think he was necessarily expecting. If it was on a normal height, Slav wouldn't have been okay. He would have been okay.
Yeah, if Slav wasn't so bent low like
He was
that,
too
yeah.
low.
He wasn't really bent.
Yeah, he was.
He's reaching for the puck, kind of thing.
He was.
He said the day after that he saw the hit at the last minute because Suzuki was talking. He goes, he warned him and he heard him, and he told him after, I saw the hit. He kind of braced himself a bit.
Yeah.
Didn't look like he had a concussion because he played yesterday, but still, you know. But
yeah, it wasn't a completely dirty hit. I don't think so.
what lost him the game was the excessive penalties.
Mhm.
And it was on both sides. Like the refs were making calls on both sides, and a lot of them were in calls. And Montreal, you could have seen Montreal gave in to the experience because Montreal had the game in their hands, and Tampa Bay, what they did, they needed to find something to get Montreal off their game.
Yeah.
They started playing that Florida Panther style hockey. They got them to commit to penalties. They got penalties called against them, and you know that's where the experience. That's what I said, like in the beginning of the series. The playoff tested team, they're going to show their experience when it's needed, and they did. And Montreal couldn't rebound from that because if Montreal would have stayed their course, they would have won that game as well. You know.
Sorry, you wanna go? I just want to say that
Yeah,
chat.
go.
You okay?
Yeah, no, go.
Inferio, welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. Kirby has loads of talent.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. The thing is, he always just gets hurt, man. He has the worst luck.
Can't stay consistent.
With some players, it's what's happening off the rink which dictates their gameplay. Good point. Good point.
Yeah, I did also hear, like, speaking about Brady Tkachuk also, that his wife had she was pregnant. She gave birth, and it's supposedly the a bit of premature thing, So just
the baby was
the
born
baby was a bit premature, and so your brain could be off. You don't know what's really going on.
Are you talking about Doc's wife?
No, not Doc's wife. I'm Brady Kachuk. Brady Kachuk.
But why are we talking about Brady?
And just in general, like a hockey player, I'm saying Doc. He
He's
shut
ready
off. Good for him to shut off the social media, because it goes to your head, man. It really does.
It could affect you,
Sometimes
for
don't
sure.
criticize a player because you don't know what they're going through. What they're going through. That's what
There's
I'm
so
trying to
much going on, and like for you saying that there's a lot going on in people's lives, off the ice. So
unfortunately, in Montreal, another big city, but Montreal, hockey is life. Hockey is very personal. So when you mess up, and your favorite team and the team you live for, and you mess it up, you do get you get fired up, and you probably go there and say things you shouldn't be saying, and which is I agree is wrong. But you have to understand these people we're obsessed about hockey. We love the Habs. We love the Canadiens. So these guys, anyways.
Guys, I have a question for you. Apart from, I'm pretty sure you agree with me. With all the stuff that happened, we're kind of upset with the way Montreal ended up losing it, because they were I believe they were the better team for most of that game.
The game when they were up ahead 2-0?
Game 4. But there is one factor that I have to give credit to Tampa, where credit is due, is the Hagel factor. That guy,
phenomenal, man.
The guy is the best player of the series for both teams. Like, both teams are able to contain their top forwards. The Tampa's forwards, top players are outperforming Montreal's top forwards to a degree, yes. But in overall, they're both teams are containing both top players. But apart from that, he's at a level on his own, man. He's doing everything.
Good, yeah.
Hagel is what 5'8" or so. I don't know. He's tiny.
Oh, guy, yeah.
But man, he's playing like a giant. That's all I gotta say. He's playing really good.
He's a bulldog.
He scored in game 3. He scored 2 in game 4.
He didn't score last night, though. Because last night was exactly what Montreal needed to do in order to avoid all the bullshit that they encountered in game 4 and in game 2. Even in games that they won, they were able to put their minds to what they needed to do, and they contained everything. They contained Hagel. They didn't make Tampa dictate where they wanted the game to go, and Montreal were able to control the game. And I find it was an edgy game, man. I was on edge all game, but they were in control of the whole game.
Do you guys notice that of all the series, Montreal and Lightning is the only series that the game is winning by 1 goal?
Yeah,
there's no blowouts. None of the game have been blowouts. They're all been tight.
And,
1 goal.
And the stats for both teams are identical.
Yeah, that's true.
It's crazy. They're so evenly matched. Where I'm surprised at is how Montreal, and this was shown in the last stretch of the regular season when Montreal went on that stretch, but I didn't think they were going to dictate this into the playoffs, transitions into the playoffs, but their defensive game has really shown and improved.
We should give also applause to Dobes, man. Dobes.
Yeah. You kidding me? Dobes is on fire right now.
I think the only reason we're still in the game is because of Dobes, man.
He's one of the reasons. There's 2 other reasons. Montreal's defensive play.
That's a long applause.
That's a really long applause.
I gotta change that.
Feels like a standing ovation a bit. Eh?
That was hilarious. So yes, Dobesh, because he's out playing. I think he's out playing.
Well, not to take away from Valesky, he's been a thorn in Montreal's goal scoring.
For the type of goal he is, for a Vezina nominee and a Vezina winner from the. Yeah, he's out. We
expect that from him.
Yes, he's out playing him this series so far.
Yes,
especially after last night's goal. That goal that he let in from Texas should have never gone in. That was weak on his end.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, Dobesh is one. The defenses too, especially Struble and Jacky, they're playing fantastic
Struvel's
together.
playing awesome. I
Yes.
find.
Struble and Jacky
Yes.
are both playing.
Jackie's
great.
he's messing up a bit.
It doesn't matter, but they're considering bringing Enstrom in. If you bring in Enstrom, who are you going to take out? It's working right now.
No.
You know?
They're playing really good. Actually,
They're playing really good.
Yeah.
Last night, Goulet and Carrier, I'm telling you, were the two best defensemen on. They were absolutely phenomenal. Carrier saved that goal from Kucherov's going in, because if that would have been a completely different period. Like they played amazing. Okay, there, and the fact that Montreal's bottom six are producing over Tampa's is another. So those are the three factors that are putting Montreal ahead of Tampa right now.
I want to say we had Hagel at the Montreal training camp in 2018. We missed.
Bergevin, cut him.
Who
You never know.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
He was undrafted?
He was invited, I think, from what I understand, and he didn't make the cut at the time.
Personal tryout.
Yeah.
He was a PTO and we didn't take him?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Last night, the third stressed me out like crazy. That's what Similiar says.
Yeah, especially the last 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah. 3 minutes. And 3 minutes were wild.
Yeah,
The last minute was wild.
Yeah, it was.
I was pulling on my girlfriend's hair. Like, fuck.
Why were you pulling on her hair?
I know.
And what about Texe and Bulldog? I think they rose into the occasion. No,
well, like I said, as soon as they put that line together in game 4, it was a game 4. No, yeah, game 3. With Texe, Doc, and Bulldog, they've been playing fantastic together.
Very well, man.
Yeah, even Bulldog. So like they're gonna keep that line intact. That's the only line that haven't changed in the last 3 games.
And what about Galley, man? Let's go, man.
I was so happy when that happened. That was amazing. Good
That's
for
so
him, man.
cool.
That was good, but who needs to get credit here for last night is Martin St. Louis, because yes, he put in Galley, he showed his lines, but the lines he showed didn't last long. He actually played to outcoach Cooper, especially that he was playing away. And he outcoached him yesterday, and he gave up. He was rotating like crazy. Cooper gave up. Not that it was good.
Yeah.
It was a good matchup because
He didn't know what to expect.
he didn't know what to expect anymore.
Uh-huh.
I got my hat off to St. Louis. He did a very good job. I'm telling you, man. You guys didn't agree with me a couple of weeks ago, or was it last week, when I said he should be started to be considered as an elite. He always is proving everybody wrong.
We don't disagree with you.
The moment
No, everyone agreed.
we all agreed. I don't know what you're
No.
talking about.
the two Bruin.
Well, Pat said he just wants to wait for a Stanley Cup before he.
Yeah, for
gets
that pedigree, of course.
For that pedigree,
It makes sense.
There's a lot
But
of
I think he agrees that he's on the right path to being a top tier coach.
But that was the whole point of the conversation. He's in that conversation. I'm not saying he's the best coach in the NHL, because he's not. But he's got to be considered in the coaching.
The discussion wasn't if he's the best, if he's top tier, if he's.
But in regards to the pool of coaches that are in the NHL right now, he's not one of the top in the NHL right now. I would say yes. No.
I think so. I think
course
especially
so.
after this season, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he earns to be in the conversation at least.
Yes.
Well, he's going to be a nominee for one of the Coach of the Year, probably, right?
This year, yeah. You think
maybe,
so?
most probably,
No, I
but he's
don't
not
think
going to
so.
win it.
No, maybe he doesn't, but still, once again, it proves your point, Tony. There was the trophy for the Lady Byng. Caulfield was a nominee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
today they announced it.
Yeah, that's pretty
That's
cool.
what, the nicest player? Or like is that what that is?
No, the most sportsmanlike player
Yeah.
that performs exceptionally well as well.
That's nice. Yeah.
So I think he's going to win it because he's got the most points. So yeah, so we'll see.
And Ferio, Gallagher needed the rest at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
It was timed beautifully. It was like it was something like in a Mighty Ducks movie. Or something. He just comes out to need him and he scores the goal.
They said it last night in the podcast when they scored. It goes, you couldn't have painted a perfect scenario, perfect picture of after him being inserted into the lineup. Who scores the first goal? The first few minutes into the game, Gallagher. And how does he score? Where he's made
A la
his
Gallagher.
A la Gallagher. That's a perfect way of putting it. A la Gallagher. How he's made his living his whole career in front of the net, grinding for those dirty plays, man. What a goal. What a goal.
Did you see that other
I'm so proud.
where he got Vasilevsky in the corner there? He went and played the puck, I guess, Vasilevsky.
He's going in there with the stick, yeah.
And he almost got that back to, I don't know, Evans or whoever it was. Oh, it was to Deneau. And he almost batted it, and yeah, that would have been nice.
Even if he wouldn't have scored, just that, what he was doing versus Kapanen that doesn't do that, it creates a level of anxiety for the other team. It creates some anxiousness. It puts them on edge, keeps them on their toes. You know, he creates that vibe, you know? So it's good. But he ends up putting the puck in the net too, so it's a plus, right?
100%.
But I'm hoping he keeps... I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the lineup tomorrow night. But for me, whoever won last night was probably going to take the series. And I wasn't sure. Yeah, Game 5 is critical. Yeah. But I wasn't sure Montreal was going to pull it off last night because of what we noticed and what we witnessed the game before. But man, they played the game they needed to play. You know, I was just worried because they weren't playing at home. You know, but they played a fantastic game. Tomorrow night, that Bell Center is gonna be crazy. Huh?
I wonder how much tickets are going for. Fuck.
I know. That's
so, okay, let's end off this section with is Montreal going to finish it tomorrow?
I think so. I think they
so.
do.
Or it's going to Game 7.
So if they play the game they played last night, it's ending tomorrow.
I think they have like a freaking wind behind their wings at the moment, and I think
this freaking Tampa Bay team, man.
Yeah. Well, listen, when we talk about momentum, that Game 3, like it was like a
guys. They contained Hagel last night. Did you notice?
Yeah.
And that was the key.
We got them in the corner at Game 3. Then they got us in the corner. It was really rough for a momentum. The momentum is always switching. Each side is getting, their chance. But last night was something different, I find. So, and it's going to tell them, because honestly, I think Montreal could have finished this within 4 games.
But this is why
you know that, right?
These refs, if they're going to make calls. But don't fucking make calls where you're determining the results of a game, especially when these two teams are so close, and they're so evenly matched. You're not giving the chance for them to win it on their own. That's what pisses me off.
Yeah, there's so many penalties. It's too much.
It's not the fact that too many penalties. A lot of inconsistent and wrong calls.
Well, last night wasn't so bad. I think last night both teams finally they were a little more disciplined.
Before Montreal scored the goal from Doc, that freaking
Kucherov
the hit from Kucherov,
the lumberjack.
Boom, right in the face. He didn't call it. They scored the goal to tie it, and then right after they killed off the 2-man advantage there. They didn't call the goal on Tampa, and then karma. Remember, I was texting with you guys. Karma. That's what you get for not calling the call.
Yeah.
Montreal scores right after.
Yeah.
Mike, make the call. Either you make the call consistently or you don't. How do you not see it? And it was right in front of the ref's face.
Yeah, it's inconsistent. You're right.
Crazy. And we're gonna get to that after.
Yeah, we got some messages. Kapanen is still in the learning stage. She will get better. Simoyor Gally only had under 7 minutes, but felt like he had a lot more. He was impactful. Just the little time he was, he
made his presence felt. Yeah, there you go.
And Ferrio, the first line will explode offensively soon. I wanted to bring that up before we go. Good, because before we change topic, we go a little long. But yeah, I want to talk about the first line. Hopefully Friday night. Samuel Jackson, Unks.
No,
call penalty, kill us.
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think that first line is gonna do anything in this series.
Yeah, but it's just this series because it seems like they're quiet. You think it's just because it's Tampa? Once they they pass Tampa, they'll be their story.
Both teams are containing both top lines very well, and it seems that Caulfield's not able to go into those places where he can score.
Yeah,
but they're containing him, and the fact that I think that in the next series, let's say if Montreal makes it through, and let's say most probably they're going to play Buffalo, it's a different look. I think Montreal's going to have more of an open ice over there, and they'll be able to. I think you're going to see a different.
I find Suzuki is doing his thing. He's still doing what Suzuki always does. He's not finding Caulfield. He's not finding Slav. Or who's on the line now? It's Anderson on the first line now.
Yeah,
I find that made a difference yesterday.
Yeah, it's at first I was like, is it a good idea? But I think it makes sense. They need that edge.
Anderson doesn't have the same finesse as Slav.
But he has that edge.
But he has an edge that gets them going, kind of thing. But man, tell me Suzuki almost undressed both Vasilevsky and
what a move.
Kucherov.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god,
on the short
that would have been sweet.
Oh man, it was so close.
Yeah, he's a special player.
Too bad.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's go on. All right, next topic. Guys in the chat, keep it coming, man. We love it. And for real, Tampa will be a bit desperate Friday night. This may open up opportunities for Montreal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they might.
That's a good point. But Montreal has to stay, as much as the opportunity, Montreal has to wait for the opportunity, not force it. If they stay with the same game that they played last night, when those opportunity comes, they'll be able to capitalize on them.
And lay off the stupid penalties. And
yes,
the power play has to kick in again. Like, they're not taking no opportunity on the power.
Like the only mistake they actually made last night, and it was Jack guy. No, it was the Matheson clear, and it caused a 2-on-1, right? It was an unforced error. That's all it was. It happens sometimes, the way he cleared it. It wasn't for that, more or less. Both goals were unforced errors. But apart from that, they played a pretty solid game.
And the Habs got lucky on 2 calls. They were playing with broken sticks. Did you see that? Hudson and who was the other guy?
Carrier.
They got lucky they didn't get called with playing with a broken stick. Anyways.
Well, it can go both ways, right?
That's true. All right, next topic. Why is NHL officiating suddenly such a major controversy? I think we kind of touched that earlier. Officiating has become a major storyline throughout the playoffs, not just because of the disputed Ducks-Oilers overtime goal. Inconsistent penalty standards, unclear reviews, and borderline calls have appeared across multiple series, including Montreal and Tampa Bay, fueling frustration as tight games hinge on questionable decisions. Well, before we start, I want to get your guys' opinion of that disputed goal against Ducks and Oilers. I mean, it was clearly a goal, right? But what's the rule book? You have to see the puck. You have to see the white between the line and the puck.
If you can't see, go ahead.
Basic math, it's basic math. If you took a puck and basic math and calculated, that thing was over the line. Okay, it was over the line.
Did you see in the video?
I don't have to see it.
No,
the math.
It has to be over the line.
You have to visually see it past the line.
If you can't see it, you can't call it a goal. Now, I didn't watch the game. I heard. But the reason they called it a goal, and correct me if I'm wrong, either in the chat or you guys, before they went to review, the call on the ice was what? A goal, right?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Because I don't know.
I don't even know why, actually.
So if the call on the ice is a goal, that's why they called it a goal. Because in reality, it's got to be conclusive evidence that the puck crossed the line. If the puck didn't cross, if you could see and there was no video evidence, they should have never called it a goal. So like the call on the ice must have been goal prior to them reviewing. So it had to be conclusive evidence to show that it was not a goal, that in order to reverse it. So I'm guessing they couldn't see anything, so they left it as it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see it?
No, I didn't see it. I didn't watch the game that night. I couldn't. Unfortunately, I couldn't get to the game.
I'm sorry, but if you just do basic math and if you put a puck over it, let's say you took a picture of a puck in Photoshop and you just sized it down to that puck, it would clearly be past the red line. It is clearly past the red line. But the rule is officially you have to see the whole puck past the line. I guess that's what the rule is.
Yeah.
So it's a good call. It's a good call. Why are people talking? Why are people arguing that it's a bad call?
Because you don't know if the puck completely crossed the line there.
I know. What do you mean you don't know? You clearly see the line past it.
No,
I
you
know
don't.
the blade is there.
The skate is covering it.
Yeah, but that's
But if the skate wasn't there,
No,
it's
that's
past.
the judgment
Come on,
call is right.
Tony.
No, you don't see it. It's
Okay,
in the rule book.
guys.
It's inconclusive. So the reason they call that a goal, from my opinion, I'm asking somebody who watched the game because the call on the ice must have been goal. Because
Yeah, they called goal. They called the goal. I saw the ref.
So then this is an inconclusive review. So they couldn't conclude anything further from this. So whatever was on the ice stood.
call says-
That's
Okay,
my
but-
opinion.
But let's
That's a
just
good
say
start.
what they would call on the ice was no goal. All right, let's
Then
say
it would have
that
been
was
no
the-
goal. Then there wouldn't have been no goal. But that's what I want to know. What the call on the ice was.
I don't think. I think they reviewed it internally before any challenge here, and they said this is a goal.
Okay, let's see what the chat said. Sorry. Tampa have the ability now to contain us. Oh, sorry, this is before. I'll just go back to Samuel Jackson because he wrote it. Tampa has the ability to right now to contain us. Maybe we should switch it up a little bit and put Slav on the second line. Change it a little bit. Slav might get more opportunity.
He was on the second line yesterday.
The refs should have reviewed the video. Oh, they didn't review the video? They fuck it up. The refs wanted even the right spot to see the puck. Fans can exert a lot of pressure on the refs. They didn't even review it.
Yeah, they did. It was reviewed.
Listen,
Wasn't even on the.
they must have used freaking ChatGPT. They got, probably asked, okay, ChatGPT, remove the goalie skate. Let's see the image of this puck, and they probably,
Guys.
concluded a goal.
I don't know.
I'm saying they called it a goal. To me, it's a goal, so it's the right call. I have no problem with that. If the ruling was no goal and they reviewed it and saw that and they still said no goal, then it would have been I think it would have been very bad. That is completely a goal. So I don't know if the actual rule is they actually have to
That's
see.
inconclusive to me.
All right, what do you say, Steve?
I think it's a goal. As much as
But I'm basing it on the rules. You cannot call it a goal for sure if you don't see it. You can't be 100. If you can't be 100% sure.
But you could be 100% sure.
How? Explain me how you're going to be 100% sure on that.
If I took Photoshop, okay.
They don't have time for Photoshop right now in
I
a
know.
game. They have
But I'm
minutes.
saying right now,
I know that, but I'm talking about in the middle of a game where a goal has to be reviewed. There's certain rules put into place where they need to follow in order to determine whether a goal counts or not. So the rule is, if a goal has to be reviewed, they have to have conclusive video evidence that the puck crossed the line. If there's an obstruction of that puck and you can't clearly see if it actually crossed the line, you can't deem it a goal because you can't officially see it.
I get it, but I understand.
So that
I
shouldn't be
understand
a
if
goal.
the goalie's whole skate was on it and you don't know where the fuck the puck is. That I understand.
You don't
but-
see the whole puck. You don't know if there's a bit of it touching the red line. You don't know. You don't know.
How'd you do in the geometry,
guys, key details.
But we're not talking about geometry here. We're talking
Okay,
about
guys.
I'm talking about geometry.
This is the
I'm
facts.
talking about math here.
Yeah, this is the facts of what what transpired. Okay, guys. Key details of the controversy is the ruling. Officials called it a goal on the ice, placing the burden of the proof video review
That
to
it's not
overturn.
a goal.
Okay. The review, after a long discussion, the call stood. Long discussion, giving the Ducks 3-1 series lead. Public reaction. Opinions are split. Some argue it was a clear goal, while others criticize a lack of definitive camera angle to confirm the puck was fully over the line. The call remains a major talking point, and the series continues, highlighting
Yeah, for
ongoing
sure.
discussions. But
That
but
doesn't give
I
us an
agree.
answer.
I
There's
agree.
a lot.
I agree. It was in a definite camera angle, but I think they called it a goal because that was the call on the ice. So, but if the call on the ice was no goal,
Okay,
this goal would have
we're
never
just
been.
repeating the same thing. We got it.
So,
we're just repeating the same thing.
Let's just put it this way: do we need a goal? Type of
line technology.
Yeah, the type of technology that will. I think it would be the right thing to do.
This happens so rare, like this kind of maybe, but they wanted to start investing money in that. Yeah, but this happens so rare. It's this close to call it. Anyways, let's move on.
But this is not
Sure.
the only issue. There's been inconsistent refereeing throughout the whole
that's what I
playoffs.
have to go back on.
We just said it with the Montreal Canadiens series. From game 1 to game 5, there's been horrible calls on both teams. In the Buffalo Boston series and the Ottawa series, in the Ottawa series with the hit on Sanderson, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Come on, it's bad. What I would suggest they do, and it's something Pierre Maguire had mentioned a couple of times this season, is first of all get one ref off the ice, create more space, and put an actual ref upstairs instead of going to the.
Isn't there a ref upstairs?
No, they go to the situation room in Toronto, and everything gets reviewed there. There should be an online official in the building to review and see and make calls and communicate. You could communicate. It takes
What
2
would be
seconds.
the difference of a guy having an office there or an office in Toronto? It's the same job. It's the same.
No, the guy
technology.
is seeing the game live from up top, not from the TV.
Yeah,
So-
but how
so-
could you see? How could you see that from up top? In the end, you have to do video.
No, but it's not
review.
just a goal. I'm just saying you can see if you're live at the game up top versus watching it on TV.
Just an eye in the sky.
Yeah.
Okay, you're talking about for other thing, not just. These
Yeah,
kind of,
yeah. If you're watching
okay.
it on TV, you don't see everything that can happen on the ice, depending on where the camera is, right? But if you're up
Right.
top, you see the ice from up top. You
And
might
the guy
see
from the up top can just stop a game.
Well,
when there's like an off, like when
well,
there's a.
he could. Sometimes the referees discuss. They can instead of discussing with the on ice official, you discuss with the official on top.
know.
What did you see from up there? And they can make a call. And at the same time, he has access to video reviewing, and you make a call like that. It'll be a
No,
lot.
I understand the
simpler.
video review, but that's. What do you think? A guy in the bleachers as a fifth ref?
Not fifth ref. It's still 2 refs. There's no fifth ref. You still have 2 linesmen.
Well, there's 4. There's 2 linesmen. Okay, 2 refs, but
Instead
like
of
a
having-
fifth.
No, you remove the second ref from the ice and you put him up top. It creates more space on the ice. You don't need a second ref on the.
You get rid of one of the refs on the ice.
Yes, you have 2 linesmen and a ref like you did before. And if you want to have that second ref, instead of having him on the ice, you want him upstairs.
Listen, I'm sure that you can create a
That's what they
good
should do.
technology. Yeah, you could have all the freaking screens in front of you too. You know what I mean?
Bro, why don't you just make AI ref now?
Yeah. Well,
What? What?
AI ref. They're just cameras.
Hey, yeah, fudge. It's look.
Hey,
Here he is. Eh?
Pat.
What a
It's Pat.
jerk.
Hey guys, just tune in. Why does it sound like Tony's losing his marbles? Well, what do you think? What did I miss?
I don't see him.
And lift the Checkin Habs sign. Oh my God, it's true. Someone lift the Checkin Habs sign on the table.
All right, let me get it.
Tony wants to get rid of refs.
Yeah, look what they
He
did
wants
to the
change
Bruins. No, I think that what I'm saying, Pat, is I think I was agreeing with a comment Pierre Maguire made a couple of times throughout the season. The second ref on the ice, instead of having 2 refs and 2 linesmen, have 1 ref and 2 linesmen like they did in the past. And that second ref, have him at the game, but up top, so he has a different view of the game, and he has direct communication with his co-worker ref on ice to make calls. You create more space on the ice, you have a better view of the game, and you're able to review the game at the same time.
And Ferio says the guy up there is just going to be eating hot dogs and drinking beer.
Nice poutine.
Nothing wrong with that.
He's going to make good calls after the 3rd beer.
It's like hot dogs and poutines.
But I find this story about the refs happens every playoffs, right? It's always people are just the refs.
No,
the
it's
refs.
been like this throughout
It's more
this year.
this year.
This
More
year,
this
man.
year?
Yeah. You know what they're also doing? They've been doing this a lot. They've been matching an experienced veteran ref with a newer ref on the ice, and sometimes you see the inconsistent calls or the calls that are not, because with these newer refs, But these guys need to learn too, right?
I mean, generally, the saying is when the playoffs come around, they just let them play, But this series or other series
Normally you complain that there's no calls being done, and sometimes now these guys are calling everything, or I don't know.
Thank you, Pat.
Anything else about the refs?
Well, no, it's that's a solution, but like it's coming to a point. It's affecting.
the solution about the guy in the bleachers? I don't know.
That's but this year it's coming to it's coming to a point. The inconsistency in the refs, it's affecting all the series, not just the Montreal game, not just that Oilers Anaheim game, not but the Ottawa game. A lot of the games, it's bad. Like what if it was for the Stanley Cup Game 7? Things got to be more consistent.
Yeah, for sure. But it's not the easiest job in the world either, man. Like,
what did he say? Back in the 70s, the American teams kept complaining that the refs were calling everything in Montreal's favor. Yeah, okay.
they always. That's what the losing team always said.
It's easy to say that when the 70s, Montreal in the 70s, they were unbeatable. Like everything went their way. They were just too good.
Yeah.
It's like it's like the Islanders of the 80s, right? That team was like insane. Was
it more in the 70s now? No, it was the 80s.
80s.
But they kind of shared it with Edmonton,
the Oilers,
right?
Yeah. Yeah, they kind of shared it with Edmonton.
They shared the 80s.
Yeah.
Because Montreal was winning. Yes, I'm for real. That's true. All right. Are we done with this? Steve, any last comments?
Well, yeah, I would agree with Tony saying that, this year they're inconsistent, and not just inconsistent, but I think the
you think his solution is a viable solution, or it's
not my solution, but
it's a viable.
I think there will be a moment where there's gonna be more technology involved with reffing, in the NHL. We don't need more refs on the ice. We need less,
yes,
and we need more, control on a different, a further spot. Let's say,
But that idea answers both your question. You're removing a ref on the ice, but you're keeping the same amount of refs. You're just taking one of them and putting him on top, and you're giving him a different view of the game.
Yeah,
he's able to communicate directly as a referee instead of them having to go to Toronto, who don't see shit sometimes.
But I wouldn't. I get your idea about another ref in the bleacher, but I wouldn't take away a ref because I think you need two refs there. There's things that the guy in the bleacher can't see up close and personal.
You don't have to put him all the way in the bleeder section. You put him up top in a game. You can see.
It has to be the bleachers because you can't be in the red section. You can't see
in an arena. You can see everything from up top. So it's not like you're far away. You see these. You can see in the arena. You can see.
No, but there's things that happen in the boards and in the scrimmage and that you need another player. But
that's why you have a ref and two linesmen. The other ref can see other stuff too.
How about a drone, guys?
Saying,
can we put a drone in there?
No, we'll just put cameras, man.
They already use drones.
Yeah. And also, they're inconsistent, like Tony was saying. Not just inconsistent, but like the limited postseason experience these NHL refs have. Most of them that are learning, they might be.
What, you don't think they learned all season?
Yeah, but
playoff is so much different that it's harder to ref.
I think it's a little different beast.
I would think it's easier because usually they do less calls.
These guys are assessed all season, and then at the end of the season, the ones that have the better records get the playoff games, and whoever get the more experienced game until the better refs get all the way to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I'm sure when they do bad calls during the season, I'm sure they get some sort of point deduction or something. That
they get rated, yeah, for sure.
If you're enjoying the show so far, don't forget to hit subscribe and give us a like. Make sure you schedule a reminder for every Thursday at 8:30 Eastern so you never miss an episode. Let's go on to the next topic we have here. Effects of the first round. How could this series shape either team in round 2? This series has been fast, physical, and demanding, pushing both teams through heavy shifts and constant pressure. Whoever advances will be battle-tested, but also worn down. And that mix of confidence and fatigue could play a major role in how they start in round 2. This is an interesting topic, though. Good pick. So, what's the end of this series, how's the team going to be? Is it going to be in a better position or in a worse position?
So that's the question. So, like, before the series started, like I said, Montreal, I would have preferred them to play a team like Buffalo, right, or Boston, than Tampa Bay, right? But does it really make a difference now? Does it or doesn't? I don't know. What do you guys think? Because Montreal, let's say Montreal would have just come out of this winners, right? I still think they would have had a good chance. But this series with Tampa Bay, it's grueling. Mm-hmm. It's a real war. And like, if they go 7 games, you know, are they gonna be that worn out and that destroyed that it could have an effect on them in round 2? What do you guys think?
Before Steve, before you say, Emperor says confidence building for either team that wins. Yes. So saying that, yes, you after coming out of the series, of course you have your confidence is above. What I'm trying to say
over and beyond. Yeah,
exactly. You're super confident. Everyone's thing, but Steve, go ahead.
Let's just put it this way: that of course, it would suck. If you just finished pounding the freaking these games together, you're going to war. It's like you like hit a freaking truck every night, pretty much, and then boom, you're gonna play let's say the Hurricane just won their series in 4. They're gonna have like 2 weeks rest almost, it feels like, and I don't know, it seems like that would be a little a grueling type of thing, but listen, sometimes, man, you just push on through, man.
I'm basing it more like how they played in game 2, game 3, and game 4, right? Like they were like yesterday's game was more tamed, but game 2, 3, and 4 was heavy, man. Yeah. It was crazy, It's with the hits and Tampa trying to change momentum by trying to get Montreal off the game because they were controlling it offensively and with their forecheck. So and they weren't getting their offensive players going. So you try to get your team going other ways, which is what they did. No. Doing 7 games of those types of aggressive games, it takes a toll on you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Instead of 7 games where you're just playing hard-nosed hockey, north to south. So if this continues, personally, I think that it could have an effect, even though Montreal might be favored or Tampa might be favored. Especially if now it's going to 6, Buffalo and Boston. But let's say it would have finished the other night. You would have had a well-rested team. I think it would, as much as you look at the 2 teams on paper and what you think who should come out on top. You also have to take into consideration when 2 teams come out of a series like this. It should change your opinion on how the outcome could come from a second round matchup.
I think mentally, if a team does a sweep for a 4-0 sweep and then relaxes for a week after against a team that just won Game 7, mentally I think the team has an edge. The one who just won Game 7 mentally, right? It's just physically, are they worn down enough that it's going to be hard the next series, or are they still adrenaline still flowing? They can still continue,
Mm-hmm.
So,
but all I'm saying is that it's different if you're going to a Game 7 where the games are not physically draining, where it's just
yes, of
versus where you're going 7 games where it's physically draining on you because it's an intense game. And
are you saying this series is the most physical out of all the series?
I'm saying. I'm saying because they're so even they're.
I know what you're saying.
They're very, very physical. Yes, it's one of the most physical matchups because they're at each other. It's so close. They're going back and forth because there's no room to make mistakes, and it's very tolling on both teams. Like
any series that goes to Game 7, it's that there's a lot of damage going on.
Yeah.
Within both teams,
especially Montreal is not a big team.
Yeah,
so we're not huge players that can.
And they're a young team.
But Brian, like I find as if like Caulfield, he's not getting hurt right now. I don't see him getting. Maybe Suzuki.
Yeah, that's part of the plan.
Listen, if he can get out of this series and he's going on to the next one, that he's gonna wake up a little bit. They're playing really good against him, but Suzuki's been getting the pounding a bit. Texier not so bad. Evans, he's used to it. This guy can take a freaking beating. But generally, I would say
most of the hit.
Any game 7 in any series, this series has been tough, and it's part of the freaking the turf here, So yeah, what everybody's saying here, the momentum it will transfer to the next series, okay, and you got that confidence.
Well, here's a point where it kind of goes the other way. See, Pat just made a comment. He goes, I agree. I see Philly having the edge over the Canes because of this. I don't agree because Philly Philly had an easy time with Pittsburgh, but the Canes, even though the series went long, they didn't have an intense series like they did with like the Montreal's having with Tampa Bay. It's not the same type of intensity. It's not that grueling, tough, in your face fight like it was. So no, I don't see Philly having an easier time. I wouldn't be surprised if Philly loses to the Canes. I don't know what's gonna happen because Philly did surprise me in round 1. But the Hurricanes also surprised me in round 1. I didn't think they were gonna be as good as they were. So I don't see it the same way. The way Montreal Tampa series went is different than the Canes series against Ottawa.
I just want to go back to the chat. Pat earlier said, of course, it makes a difference now that they go ahead and Tampa have the upper hand headed to conference finals. Have the Habs played any other team? Imagine knowing you'd still have to face the Bolts. It's true. Imagine they had a rough series with Buffalo, and then they had to go against Tampa. Like that would have been tough. Inferio, too much rest can hurt a team. Yeah, I agree that. Like a 4-0 sweep, and you're relaxing for a week while the other team just went through like a game. Went up to game 6 or game 7. Those guys are more in step, right? The other guys probably just are a little more relaxed, and it could affect them for sure. You can lose momentum. I agree. I see Philly having the edge over the Canes because of this. Okay, Pat just said that before. Don't agree. Canes didn't face a serious opponent compared to Philly.
That's what I'm saying, Pat, but that's not what you meant. That's not what you were saying in your previous comment. You're saying Philly will have an edge over the Canes. And then your second comment says that the Canes didn't have a serious opponent. That's what I'm saying. The Canes had a easy time with Ottawa. So how is Philadelphia going to have an easier time with Philly? I'm not getting your point, Pat. You're saying two different things.
You guys.
Simayar. It's like I'm already watching the conference final. It does feel like it is a pretty big game. Moment of tone.
Yeah,
wait. Sorry, it's Steve. I just want to say
go ahead.
Car Gabriel, Jacob Dobe is phenomenal and the future goalie for the Habs. Do you guys agree?
Sorry?
Jack Dobe is phenomenal and the future goalie for the Habs. Future number 1. Do you guys agree?
One of two goalies. They have two future goaltenders over there. So I think it's going to come down to what Montreal wants to do moving forward in regards to bringing more people in. They can trade either goalie. What I would do, if I know Fowler is going to be our future too, and you have a proven goalie, it's easy to trade somebody while they're hot, right? And if you know Fowler can do it next year or the year after, and somebody's looking for a goalie, you can easily trade Dobesh, right?
Yeah. Hey, why not?
Especially if you want to bring in someone like McDavid.
What were you going to say before, Steve?
Well, no, I mean, I just think that Philly has momentum right now, and
yes, they do.
They've been playing super good, and Ottawa really just dropped the ball. Canes, they knew what to do with Ottawa. They just suffocated them like usual, these guys. But Philly feels like as if they got, something going on right now. So anything can go.
Yeah, but that round, that's the round 2 matchup is going to be different than the round 2 matchup with whoever it's going to be Buffalo, Boston, and Tampa, Montreal, whoever it's going to be, right?
Sure.
Two completely different things.
See how that goes. It's gonna be interesting. I'll tell you that much.
Anyways, we'll get to that. We'll revisit that once we know who the round 2 matchups are. But it's interesting to see, as much as a team could be favored going into round 2, how a grueling previous round can actually take an effect on
You know what? By the way, PK Subban, before the playoffs started, right? He had called Montreal winning the cup, right? You hear about this?
No.
Yeah.
You call it?
Yeah. If you guys want to pull it up, it's it's why the Stanley Cup is the hardest trophy to win.
I seen that. Yeah, I saw that. I saw something about saying it's the hardest thing to win, but that's the same one he mentions. Habs.
Well, I said
win
if they pass, if they get by Tampa, they're going. I called them going to the Eastern Finals. So we'll see. Continue what you were saying, Steve.
And pretty much, he said, "Listen, they're going to be playing Tampa." Well, this is what he says there. But he, I don't know how far it is there.
Welcome into this Get Up exclusive. I'm Greeny, that's Shump, that's PK, Mike T, and Vinny. But the most important guest here, obviously, every player.
Where's the
5 instead of 4? Parade.
Not this, no.
Now, here's what hockey players will tell you. We've got basketball players here.
Element of hockey, which was Yaroslav Halak, who and
not like an AFC, but
A little further.
You know what I mean? Because the goalie stands on his head, and that
Here,
one player can have such an enormous impact.
Basketball after Steve?
Obviously.
Yeah, it's a little after. Yeah.
That was one of the many reasons I would.
Who's gonna win it? That's what they're.
Every week,
and keep your head in it. But the one thing that I always take from Wayne, who's the greatest player to ever play our game, was when he lost, when he walked by the Islanders' room.
I saw this.
He's not talking about them outscaling them, outscoring them. He's saying the amount of ice bags, stitches, blood, like that you could see looking in that room. He knew that they had to invest more.
Exactly.
So the greatest player in our game. Not saying he's got to go and shoot more pucks. Not saying he's got to go work on his game. Saying that I have to mentally commit to a brand of hockey that's going to allow us to win championships. And he went on to win multiple of them. So,
all right, so let's finish it with a little prediction.
That's it. The prediction.
Is it 93?
Yeah.
So I believe that it's aligned. I think that if they get through Tampa, look out. They've been a hot team all year. They got a lot of skill. It might be a little too early for them, but I don't know. Slavkovsky's an unsung hero. No one's talking about this guy and the leaps and bounds that he's made. He's a true power forward. He's the size that I think Montreal's been missing. I think this is going to be a big playoff run for him.
And about your sport, Shump? When we get all the way to the end,
I can't.
Who's going to have the other shiny trophy?
I can't turn away.
Imagine Subban was playing right now with us, man.
That'd be awesome, honestly. But you just if we can get through Tampa, we can get through anybody. Kind of thing.
I think so. I think once if we pass Tampa, I think everyone's going to be a little bit easier.
That's what I've been saying. You guys are all of a sudden. What happened to your Buffalo argument?
I think Buffalo was a crazy team, and I think that you underestimate them. That's the problem, I'd say. And I'd say Lightning. I think you overestimated them, in my opinion. So I'm on the other side of the.
I didn't overestimate them. Look at the shit they're causing.
No, but Tony, we're getting through even the shit that they're causing us. So we should have actually won the series officially, in my opinion.
Last night, yeah.
So, game 4, it was ours. Even, we could have won game 2, man. We could have been done in 4, honestly. Why couldn't have? We've been playing so much better brand of hockey than they have. So
it's been tight. It's been very tight. All right, move on. All right. 4 ways Hudson is redefining the small defenseman. He's only 5'8" and weighs 165 pounds. Everybody was worried Hudson was too small for playoff hockey. How did this small defenseman become the Habs' most dangerous weapon in this series? Number 1, he walks the blue line with his little stutter step that just freezes penalty killers. gets them flat-footed, and suddenly opens up lanes for his teammates.
Steroids. Okay.
No, but he walks the line very well.
Yeah.
And honestly, he doesn't mess up. I don't think I've ever he probably messes up, but I don't think he messes up. He always does a good pass, a good play. He always knows where to think. And you don't see guys really checking him too much because they know they're going to embarrass him. So he walks the line very well. What do you guys think?
He walks the line fantastic. He's doing stuff on that blue line that you haven't seen defensemen do. So he's redefining that position, especially at his size, right? Go ahead.
Like compared to Makar and let's say
no, there's nobody that
Doughty. They were good on the line too.
Nobody dangles and plays. He skates like a forward on that line. The way his lateral movement is crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
He moves like a forward. Like it's hard. It's already hard because you're on the line, but to be moving that quickly and that consistently back and forth and make those moves, nobody else is doing that in the NHL. That's what makes him unique, you know. And he's quick, and he's witty, and he's good at it, and that's what makes him different, and that's what gives him the edge over everyone else. Like you have other defensemen that are good for other aspects, but he brings a different aspect of the game, and he's redefining that position just by that. Because he's not only good at it, but he's actually producing on a consistent basis, and has been doing that for 2 years now. He won Rookie of the Year, and the sophomore year he surpassed his rookie season. You know, like it's impressive, and he's doing great in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, his rookie season, I'd say he was a little rough around the edges, let's say, at first. But once he got his groove on, he understood, the NHL now. That's when he just started shining, and because I think his first half wasn't as good as his second half.
Guys, if you have to pick the
year.
top defenseman on both teams for that series, who are you going to pick?
I'm going to choose Lane for sure. Oh, are you kidding me?
On both teams.
Oh, yeah.
Like the forward on both teams is going to be Hagel, right? Like he's absolutely impressive. But on defense, there's no question. It's Lane Hudson. No?
Yeah, I agree. For sure. I agree.
We're lucky that Hedman's not in. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, we're a totally different game, huh?
And Martin St. Louis is managing his time. He's trying to keep it under 29, 28 minutes, so it's under 30, so it's very, very good. He's giving those extra minutes to other players, and those other players are actually helping the defense, which is why they're playing so well defensively. So they're working well together, which is helping his game out too. Because if he would be overplaying, I said it in the beginning of the series, with Dobson out is the more responsibility that Hudson's going to have is going to take a negative effect on him, and it's not, because his time management is being well controlled, so he's able to do more of what he needs to do, and he's not able to he's less susceptible to mistakes.
Well, he doesn't get crunched anywhere in the corners, he knows.
He's quick. He missed a lot of those hits.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna get to that. So I'll say it right now. He's not overpowering anyone on the boards. He's just smarter. Perfect stick positioning, strip pucks, clean from veterans who has 40 pounds on him. But he's able to walk out of the corner clean, getting the puck off the other teammate. He's very good at that. And that's intelligence. That's to not have to use your weight and strength to outperform a guy in the court. That's intelligence. He knows how to position himself.
Yeah, well,
perfectly.
he uses his strengths to his advantage versus trying to do something that he's not strong at, and then losing the battle on that. So
he's he's a Teflon D. You know what I mean?
Everything just bounces off. Huh?
Ooh, baby,
Teflon D.
That's funny, Steve.
Another point. While other guys are coming off the ice gasping for air, Hudson looks like he could go on another 30 minutes. His breathing capacity is just on another level. And I saw people talk about this. He has a good breathing apparatus. He doesn't. Well, also he's very young.
You make a good point. What was it that game where he played at the end of the game he played was it 5 minutes straight, or is it? Was it? It was
Really?
at the end of the season, one of the games there where he won. It was all him. He was on the ice. He didn't come off. Was it 3 minutes or
I don't
something?
remember.
So he's a machine.
Obviously he's young. Obviously you can last longer, but it seems like he's just different than everybody else. He doesn't like. Never looks like he's gasping for even when he gets off the bench, man. He seems like he's ready to go back on.
Yeah, he's a little tank, I gotta say.
And my fourth point: teams assumed he would mostly pass along the blue line because of he's a small guy, but now he's slapping 90 mile per hour shots over here, and it's catching elite goalies off guard, man. Just like he did on the
That's a crazy goal.
On the
that
overtime
big goal
goal
that he did, that overtime goal. It was clocked at almost like 95 miles per hour, man, or kilometers. I'm not sure, but
kilometers.
Is it
kilometers an
kilometers?
hour? It's probably kilometers. And if he imagine he works on his shot. Imagine he actually gets a nice strong, he gets a nice powerful shot. That's another way he can improve the game, improve his.
Ryan, he's gonna continue to. He's been working on his game since he started, and he's only what 21, 20. How old is he? So, like, he's not even in his prime yet, guys. Like, he's just entering the league, and he's gonna be.
He's
gonna be
22.
he's 22. There you go. He's gonna be phenomenal. He keeps adding to his game and working. He's a workhorse. So that shot that he added is gonna be even more lethal next year.
Guys, it was a 90 mile an hour shot.
90, yeah.
It was a 90 mile.
Mile an hour. So 130.
It was a beauty. It was definitely beauty.
Yeah, 129 or something.
He joined Weber and Subban scoring consecutive playoff goals.
Yeah, scored in 2 consecutive games in a row.
Let's see what the chat says. This is from previous Similor. The whole wild card thing has messed things up.
Yes, I agree. Big time.
Micas Vegnas will be interesting to see for a possible future goalie. You guys know what this is? Micas
I did
Vegnas?
hear about him, yeah. Yeah, let's take a look at it.
What a name.
Yeah. There you go.
Is that spelled right,
right
Similor?
You had it.
Go ahead, they're there.
Right there.
There you go. Yeah, Mike Vegnas. He's from where? Latvia. Latvian going. They signed him this year. Like any ELC or something, or they just
Let's see.
drafted by Montreal Canadiens, 2024. Okay, 134 overall. We're gonna have to look him up. Wait, the game. Take it off.
But let's see what how he develops. I still think the goalie of the future is Fowler. But I'm so happy that we have Dobish doing well too, because now it's a plus. So now we have leverage, right? Leverage is key, man. Especially when you're.
Well, I just don't want a Swayman and Ulmar kind of a situation there. Ullman or whatever.
Well, no. If you want to make a deal, you're able to give up a goalie, whether it's Fowler or Dobish, because you're good with either or, right? You have another piece that you can trade for and get something realistic in return, right? Montreal is far from a perfect team. They still need that piece or two up front and another piece on defense, apart from what's coming up.
Caden Primo no one cares about him anymore. He's old school.
He's no longer with the team, Brian.
Oh, he isn't?
They traded him last year.
A long time ago. I think is he still Toronto and the
I didn't
Marlies
even know
now,
that.
or
No,
he's gone, man. He's gone.
on.
And even Inferio is giving Micas has great stats potential, but is several years away.
Yeah, he's still young.
Oh, it's good to have something in the pipeline. Another goalie in the pipeline is great.
Always good.
It's a hard position to fill, They
Not everyone's lucky like Tampa Bay. Fuck.
Don't forget, nowadays, it's not like in the past where you needed to have that elite. You have a good goalie that can get you somewhere. You don't want to overpay for these goalies, but even if you have two good, consistent goalies, and then once you have a balance of like consistent goaltending, you can worry about getting your defense and offense. All you need is you don't need superstardom like it was before. You can have two good.
I think for the playoffs, you need a bit of superstardom for the playoffs. Maybe not for the season, but you need a big, different.
You need
the
a
goalie that's
consistent
usually
goalie.
a difference maker.
Yeah. I'm just saying you don't need a $15 million goalie, and put all your money on a goalie. I
Look at Swayman over there.
The game is different.
Spent too much on that guy.
I don't think they did.
Pricey.
Some scouts consider him potentially better than Fowler.
Yeah.
According to Amferio.
Yeah?
And we gotta look up. We gotta do a little profile on this guy.
I'll look him up. If Swayman, like I said last year, would have gotten traded to the Oilers, Oilers would have tried to trade for him, I think they would have been in a different situation than they are right now. They're in the playoffs, but they don't have goaltending. They don't have defense. And they get eliminated the round one. Bye-bye, McDavid.
Probably.
And welcome to Montreal.
I'm not saying that. but
him and Crosby.
No, that'd be crazy. Eh? That'd be sick.
All right.
I don't know.
If you're sorry, did you finish your thought?
No, I said I don't know about Crosby anymore. Like I said last week.
If you're digging what we're doing here, drop us a line in the comments and chat. Well, you guys are been great tonight. And we are live every Thursday again at 8:30 Eastern. And hey, don't keep it to yourself. Tell your friends, tell your parents, tell your cousins. We need all the help we can get.
And for Steve, tell your grandmothers too.
Yeah.
Steve
likes it.
Let's go, baby.
I'm kidding.
Need some action, guys. Come on.
All right. Our final topic of the night. Steve, I'm actually surprised you picked this interesting topic over here.
I mean, let's
It's
mix it up a
interesting. It's
little
different.
bit, Yeah, go ahead. Do the intro.
Players are demanding, but watching Seinfeld to chill? Really? Martin Louis recently mentioned he watches Seinfeld to decompress. What are the pros and cons of a coach like him using comedy like this to show on this? Oh my God. What on the... Okay.
Is dyslexic tonight?
No, this doesn't make sense.
Maybe
using
my
comedy like this
sentence,
show on leisure time. For leisure time. All right.
Sorry, guys.
Rewind. Martin Louis recently mentioned he watches Seinfeld to decompress. What are the pros and cons of a coach like him using comedy like this for leisure time? Is he crazy? Should he not be more focused on the task at hand? Isn't the Stanley Cup the hardest trophy to win? Man, what is this guy relaxing? Whoa, what's wrong?
Macao, what's the matter with you?
He should be watching plans and replay reels and stuff like that. What's this guy watching Seinfeld? The nerve.
He's watching it for Art Vandelay, guys. Art Vandelay.
No, but what? Do you actually have a pros and cons for this?
No, I just think about it this way. I am going back to the Stanley Cup, guys. This is like the most grueling, trophy to win, right? Would you not agree? Like every
100%.
Just like Subban says, he asked Wayne, like what it takes pretty much. And he was so freaked out about like losing against the Islanders. And then when he passed by like their room, he noticed that everybody's bleeding. Everybody's like ice on their heads, on their foreheads, on their hands. It's like, it's what pain are you willing to do, to take?
Endure.
Yeah, in order to win your trophy. And that's what it takes nowadays, like it doesn't matter if you're freaking Connor, McJesus over here, it doesn't really matter. Why haven't they, do you remember that clip when Connor McDavid was screaming at his players? like it was 2 years ago versus
In the locker
Panthers.
room?
Yeah, he was pure panic mode. Guys, now is the time. And still, he couldn't win it, kind of thing. It's very, very frustrating. You're so close, but yet so far. And, the Stanley Cup is a very special trophy. And in order to get that trophy, especially nowadays, it's not we're talking about the original 6 here. You have a lot of teams to
32
face
teams.
with very amazing players on each team. And most of the time, it's not even necessarily, your best players that win it for you.
It's the most gruesome trophy to fight for. It by far. There's no comparing any other championship trophy. Like I'm not trying to take away from any other, but it's the hardest trophy to win in regards to the way the game is played, the way the playoffs are played, and it's the heavy 7-game series.
Yeah,
You're
I get it. And
100%
that's
right.
more of a reason why I think it's so. Is there really a big thing to watch Seinfeld like to decompress, or you're saying he's slacking off? Like, what are you trying to say? He's slacking off too much, enjoying some Seinfeld episodes?
I think it just gets his mind off thinking about something because
of course,
it's a show about nothing. So you're not really thinking about nothing. It's just you're laughing and you're trying to clear your mind before you get back. And sometimes you need your mind cleared in order to have your mind ready to get back to the nitty gritty and like be clear minded to actually concentrate on hockey. Sometimes you can't.
But like Seymour, I was going to bring it up, but Seymour mentioned it. He goes, he watched it to fall asleep and show about nothing, lol. But I think that's what it was. I think he couldn't fall asleep because he's probably just thinking about the game. He's thinking about what he could do, what he could change.
Exactly.
So he just needed something in the background just to fall asleep to, and that makes 100% sense to me. Is it a con? I don't know, man. Maybe getting Jerry's father's head. Costanza's father. What was the father's name?
Frank
Costanza. The puck! Get the puck! I don't know, man. Or something trying to do a bad.
More like his mom.
What are you doing? Or the mother.
Yeah, the mom.
Oh my god! Why'd you do that penalty? Oh my god!
Imagine Marty has his mom as a freaking little puppet talking to him. But yeah, of course. Yeah, here we go. The Creamer state of mind. That's what.
Creamer state of mind. It's true.
Definitely, guys. I don't think that he's wrong. Personally, I think that he's on a right track here. You need something, because guys, at the end of the day, this trophy is really it's about nothing, right? Isn't it?
What are you talking about? Said everything.
It's everything.
I want to hear this.
Because at the end of the day, sometimes it's puck luck, man. You got to be freaking right. It's not necessarily. Look, Connor McDavid, like I said, it didn't win the trophy so many times, and he's the best player in the world. So
Okay, but it doesn't mean he's on the best team. That's the problem.
yeah, of course. So there's the team aspect about it, but there's so much you can control, right? And you have to be prepared, of course. That's for sure. It's going to be important, but at a certain point, there's too much information type of thing, and then you're in overdrive, and then all of a sudden you're like,
what do you want to watch? Sportsnet and watch the people talk and stuff like that and dissect everything he does? No, man, fuck that.
analysis
As much as
paralysis.
Seinfeld.
Also, happens.
Yeah,
There's so many things
guaranteed.
that happen to you that you're just you become like berserk. And
Don't forget, he's in a crazy market. Like sometimes,
True.
like I was listening to his Zoom call today, and I'm not gonna mention the reporter because I've noticed a couple of times he's been giving him a hard time. But he had 2 short questions to him, and he goes, "Okay, let me stop you there. You get one. Pick which one you want and go with it." He didn't want 2 questions from this reporter.
He doesn't like him at all.
I don't know if he doesn't like him, but it's a couple of times he's giving him a hard time. I don't know if he's just like that, but like you could see sometimes the reporters, like he gets the job to do, but I think sometimes they get.
I'm sure these guys get annoyed at a certain reporters when they ask stupid questions. Like the best of that is torts, right? How many times they bash like fucking reporters? Oh, Minnesota just scored.
super. I really don't like
I just
Dallas.
imagine fucking Marty St. Louis walking in the hallways and seeing Cooper goes, "Hello, Cooper."
Exactly, right? Pure, like,
"Hello, Cooper."
Hello, human. Human.
All right. Anything else to say on this?
well,
No,
you know, think about
Okay.
the Festivus, you know, scenario, right? Like, I'm sure, like, he must have used so many ways in his head, maybe.
Maybe use it in his the Festivus speech in the locker room.
Exactly, you know, especially at a loss, let's say, you know, like, okay, guys, you get the poll out, let's say, you know, it's okay. We have grievances to deal with here.
Lay it all out. Okay,
There's-
before we go, we do a round favorite Seinfeld episode, and you guys in the chat,
Oh my god.
fast, mention it out. You gotta pick one.
I can't. There's too many. I can't.
I know there's a lot, but there's no favorite one. For me, I always loved the one when George does everything opposite that day, and
The
everything.
opposite.
He gets the girl. He works for the Yankees. He gets
Exactly.
Just everything completely opposite. Everything works out for him. That was hilarious.
That was a good one. I would say the wallet. The wallet one? When George gets it's like a folder over there, you know? He just
And what happened at the end? You close it. Everything went flying. What happened? Something like I can't remember.
but
Something
you know, at
happened 'cause
one
he
point
did
he had his wallet in his back pocket, and he's at the restaurant, so he takes a napkins, like a whole pile of napkins, to balance it to either side. He's so funny.
I don't know. I would say the deal.
The one the King of the Castle one.
Yeah, King of the Castle.
Yeah, that's a
maybe.
classic one.
Yeah.
The
I don't know.
classic.
This is why I can't pick the.
There is a lot of them.
The
There's
whole,
so many
the whole,
good ones.
the so many. Each season had their good ones. You know, the chicken episode that was good.
Oh my gosh.
That was so many good ones. I can't pick the Manzier. That was good.
Serenity now. Remember that? There's so many good ones.
There's so many good ones. I'm sorry,
My
I
favorite-
can't pick.
The Bubble Boy.
Oh my.
Uh,
I don't want to be a pirate. But I love the
The
one when
pirate.
George does everything opposite. It's like he's like, he hits rock bottom. He just says everything opposite,
You know
and boom, skyrockets. His whole life skyrockets.
It's like it started with the tuna sandwich, I think, or something.
Exactly. and he goes, oh, the hot girl is like, I heard exactly what you did. I'm bald and I'm employed and I live with my parents. Hi, I'm.
Yeah. That was perfect.
It's like, hi, I'm Amy.
I remember that.
Oh my gosh.
What a perfect set of characters. That show was great.
That's amazing.
So, what do you guys think, though? Is he a genius for using the Seinfeld?
I guess. I
Genius.
didn't
He's just a
expect him to
regular
say
guy,
that.
man. He's just a regular guy before going to bed watching Seinfeld like 800 million other people do in the world. Like, but yeah, it's a normal. It's like it's just a personal antidote that he says. I guess someone asked him, "What do you do to decompress?"
I
guess that
never
was the thing.
got people who said I never got that show. I don't understand how people cannot get that show.
About nothing.
I know, but like some people it didn't
People
interest,
that don't
they
have a good
find
sense
funny.
of humor, man. People that don't have a good, or even like probably like the next generation. Like I'm sure maybe my son watching that won't get it. Like just I don't know, maybe he will, but probably people born in 2000 and stuff like that won't get it.
No, but even some people our age never saw the appeal to
Yeah,
it.
because they like shows like Friends and
Yeah.
Home Improvement or so. You know, I was just saying that. Because Seinfeld wasn't. Yes, you had Kramer doing the physical humor and stuff like that, but it was a lot of like clever, like it was a lot of cleverness,
Wittiness.
yes, and how it all tied out at the end. Always everything, all these two, 3 stories that was happening, always tied out in the end in a
Yes.
funny way, and
Every story was nothing, but it all blended together at one way or another.
And maybe there's people in life that don't get annoyed at these little things. And that's what Seinfeld, even Curb Your Enthusiasm, it's all these things that annoy you or could annoy you as a person. All these things that people do
There's knickknacks, yeah.
that are like annoying.
The
And
peeves.
they basically did a lot of shows about it, right? The peeves and stuff like that, yeah. Maybe some people are just disconnected in the world and it's just everything's happy and everything's good, so they don't Get it? I don't know. That's just.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Anyways, that's it. I don't know how I got into a Seinfeld episode. Maybe that's gonna be a podcast. We just dissect every Seinfeld episode. Thanks so much, guys, for watching, sharing your thoughts in the chat. Today was very active, and we really appreciate it. It's a lot. It's a whole different show when there's no game, no Habs game on. Huh?
I know that. Makes a difference.
We invite you all to join us again next Thursday. Hopefully, there's no game, so you guys can join us and have another lively Habs conversation. Until then, stay passionate, keep the love for the game alive. Have a good night.